right, everybody, what's up? Jake, your resident content cowboy here. Yeehaw! I've been waiting for a new patch for Pokemon Unite. It looked like one was coming out tonight, according to the leakers, and they're correct. Union Strike Patch 2, aka Unison Strike Patch 2, is coming out. Ooh, Cram, Tree, Inteleon, Ho-Oh. Before I look at it, obviously Cram. The guys, I'll get into it in a minute. Tree is a really interesting one. I wonder what they're going to be doing with Tree. I guess I could see a slight buff. Ho-Oh buffs for sure. Inteleon buffs. I guess these are all buffs, right? They usually don't show a nerf here. Could you imagine if these were all nerfs? All right. Balance changes. Changes have been made to Pokemon and stats and moves to adjust the balance of Unite battles. Pain Split. This makes sense. I think Pain Split's okay right now. But this is probably totally reasonable. Pain Split was not providing enough value in extended battles, making it difficult for Trev to maintain pressure in prolonged fights. To enhance its defensive capabilities, both the damage share ratio and healing effect have been buffed. Damage going from 25, 30, and 40, or, excuse me, 20 to 25, 30 to 35, 40 to 45, and an HP recovery amount of 12%. I actually think this is pretty solid. You can kind of already play it as sort of a tank that would chase down some of your opponents and like harass, an attacker or something like that and just stick on them and make sure that if anyone tries to KO you, obviously they go down. I like this. I like this change. I think that's pretty cool for Trev. I wish we had bigger changes. I mean, if the whole patch is changes like this, I wish they were bigger. Ho-Oh, defense increase from 9480 to 9540. Yeah, this is fair. Flamethrower, HP recovery increased by 20%. Fire Spin Shield. Okay, these are actually great buffs. Flamethrower, actually, the more I've been playing Ho, it's kind of the only build that I think works right now is Flamethrower and Fly. However, if Fire Spin gets a good shield increase, it could be back and useful again. It's funny, I just made a tweet the other day about how I thought Ho-Oh was pretty underwhelming right now, and I do think these are fair changes here for sure. Despite its high durability and healing abilities, it lacks sufficient defensive power in the current meta. To improve its frontline sustainability, its stats and healing shielding effects have been buffs. This is all fair, I think, in a big way because as a defender, it's a really awkward defender to play, right? You have this weird situation where you want to defend for your team, but if you go down, which would be tanking a ton of damage, right? If you go down, now all of a sudden you can't use your Unite because other people have to go down before you. Yeah, it's always been a little bit of a mess, so I think that is very fair. Cram. What am I looking at here? Attack speed. Okay. Surf cooldown, Hurricane cooldown. Okay, so the Mage build is getting a buff, and overall attack speed is getting a buff. I wish I had any idea how this would be relevant. I have no idea how this will be relevant. We're gonna have to see. I can't wait for the math cord and Unite DB and everything to figure out what this exactly is gonna mean. It looks minor, but I don't know. I don't know if this is actually going to be kind of big, and then the rate at which you're like throwing your Aerokudas or something is actually going to be pretty solid. And this is also not only a buff to just your boosted in general, but possibly your Unite move. I doubt it, but possibly your Unite move, and possibly you fire faster with dive, so we'll see. This is going to be interesting. Cram's attack speed and mobility-based playstyle made it challenging to keep up with opponents, leading to a low win rate. Its battle endurance has been improved by buffing attack speed and move cooldowns. Truly, I would not expect this, so I'm interested in this. This feels not enough. I'm not saying Hurricane Surf's awful or anything, but give me at this point, I'm just looking for bigger changes. I want bigger changes. Inteleon. Snipe shot damage increase, liquidation damage increase, and cooldown. The damage of snipe shot and liquidation was insufficient, causing Inteleon's win rate to drop by increasing their damage and lowering liquidation's cooldown. Wow. I actually think liquidation is going to be kind of nutty right now, especially for going into like horse, but I imagine we would see some changes for horse. But wow, liquidation 6% damage increase. It's already doing pretty good damage and a cooldown decrease. And Snipe Shot. I mean, Snipe Shot 10% is huge because this thing already hits for thousands of damage. So these are actually pretty solid buffs for Inteleon. Mewtwo Y. Psystrike damage. Okay. I get this. I totally get it. Mage Mewtwo Y has become a thing, and Psystrike is dummy good. It has high damage, strong endurance effect that significantly impacted opponents' mobility, making it difficult for them to counterattack. To balance this, the damage has been nerfed. I don't even know if that's enough of a nerf damage-wise, but I do think it's probably totally reasonable that this is the direction they went in for Mewtwo Y. We have a Tsareena nerf. Tsareena, triple axle damage decrease. Triple axle provided strong attack power, mobility, healing. I don't know. I don't know if we needed this. Do we need this? I mean, I guess it's been really good. Let me look up its win rate really quick. Maybe it's just its win rate's just too good. It feels like competitive it's having problems, but its win rate's probably too high in normal games. Yeah, it's 54%. Yeah, I guess it is overperforming. It's definitely a really strong buff. And in uncoordinated games, it's really powerful, right? So, okay, 8%. All right, Psyduck. Yeah, I mean, this doesn't surprise me. Surf damage decrease, psychic damage decrease. Surf and psychic were too powerful together due to their combination of hindrances and damage, making Psyduck overly strong as a supporter. To balance this, damage has been nerfed. Fair. I bet it's still going to be really good, but we might be getting to the realm where we might be getting to a reasonable realm. Garchomp. What? Critical hit rate, 10% to 5%, between 5 and 8, and 20 to 10. Garchomp's high attack speed allowed it to land many hits quickly, naturally increasing the occurrence of critical hits, resulting in excessive damage output. To balance this, its crit rate has been nerfed. Well, I think this means Scopeland's Garchomp is no longer a thing, right? And I know for a long time people have been playing some other things on it, but this just feels like Scopeland's Garchomp is not the play anymore. And now it's time to move on to what some players have been doing. Attack weight, weakness policy, focus band, even amp at times I've seen run. Yeah, I mean, I guess they didn't like the attack speed dealing that many crits. I don't really think this was a problem for Garchomp. I still think Garchomp's biggest asset is its ability to dive in, start a great fight, and then unite, you know, completely immune to any hindrances and just start ripping through your opponents. I don't think that's changed. And while this definitely is a nerf, I just think it means you build Garchomp differently. If anyone really cared about building Scope Lens that much before. I personally love Scope Lens on Garchomp because you had the opportunity to crit, like, again, a bunch of times, and it had sort of 2 pops of damage that I believe could crit on its boosted, but okay. Oh, no. This is a small patch. These are like the mini patches. I think not nerfing Rapidash is absurd. That's absurd. It's way too good. I mean, we nerfed Tsareena. Tsareena is a 54% win rate. Rapidash is at a 57%. It's very high, and it has a 97% ban rate. So, yeah, I don't know, man. I think these changes are interesting, small. I wish they were bigger, but no Rapidash makes no sense to me here. That makes no sense. That's like the only thing that I think is a real bummer here. The thing I'm most excited to try, I think Inteleon feels like it has good buffs. I would definitely try Cram. Ho-Oh needed this. Honestly, I like all of these changes, even though they could be bigger, but no horse nerfs feels crazy to me. Let me know what you think in the comments. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. New patch, so I'll be on tomorrow checking it out with all of you. I love you guys. I'll see you soon. We did it, didn't we?